Hi everyone, so I am popping in today to chat about the weekly astrology. And so this will be the astrology for the week of April 12th. And there is a lot happening this week, so I'm going to be looking down a lot because there is no way I can keep all this straight in my head. I think last week I mentioned where the week was a little bit quieter on the front end, and then as we moved into the back end of the week, the latter half of the week, things got busier. And this week is similar, where there are some transits in the front end of the week, Monday through Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, things definitely heat up. Okay, so there's just a lot. And it's not bad. I do want to say that. What I'm, talking about, there's a lot happening this week. It's not bad. Because as I've mentioned before, there's astrology is not good or bad. It's the energy that's there, and it's up to us to choose how we use it. And so, it's just the latter half of the week is intense, I think is a good way to describe it. So tomorrow, Monday, April 12th, the moon will be in Aries, and it's really just a good day to get things done tomorrow. So if you just like to start your week just hitting the ground running, tomorrow is a really good day for that. There's nothing too major that will hamper kind of your flow tomorrow, and so I expect with the moon being in Aries, we'll want to get some things done. There will be a void moon for a good chunk of the day tomorrow, starting at 8:06 a.m. until 1:44 p.m. And I'll probably mention this every week. A void moon is just a cosmic time out, so it's better to use kind of that void moon time period to rest if you can, depending on your schedule and what you need to get done. It's also good for brainstorming, for wrapping up projects or finishing things up. It's just not suggested to begin anything new. And so the moon will be void tomorrow from 8:06 a.m. until 1:44 p.m. when it enters Taurus. And the moon will be in Taurus the rest of the day Monday, all day Tuesday, and all day Wednesday. And so a Taurus moon just invites us to slow down, to kind of bring more pleasure in our life and focus on pleasure and beauty, and where we can find that pleasure and beauty. So for example, the weather here in North Carolina is going to be really nice this week. It's going to be in the mid to upper 70s, partly cloudy. We've got a little bit of breeze out there today. And so moon in Taurus might be the kind of mood where you want to go outside and take a leisurely stroll, or perhaps just spread out a blanket and take a nap in the sun, maybe with some food. So it's how do you indulge your five senses? How do you kind of bring pleasure to your day through your five senses? On Tuesday, the sun will sextile Mars, and so that helps just give us a boost to our confidence. It's also a really energizing transit where we'll just have a little boost of energy, where we can feel like we can get things done a little easier. Things just flow a little bit better. On Wednesday, Venus will actually enter Taurus, and that's one of the home signs of Venus, and so Venus feels very much very happy there. I think it's a good way to put it, where over the next few weeks while Venus is in Taurus, we'll just be focusing again those Taurus themes of pleasure and our five senses, and we'll just kind of relax our hold on the reins a little bit, where with Aries energy we can feel the need to make things happen, but when Venus moves into Taurus, we kind of relax that wanting to control a little bit, and we kind of become a little clearer on what we value, what means the most to us. We can kind of just have a new understanding of what in our life we find value in. We also have a void moon on Wednesday. The moon will go void at 8 p.m. and will be void until 2:35 a.m. on Thursday. And every time, all the times I mentioned, I think I forgot to mention this earlier, but they're all Eastern times. And then when the moon will enter Gemini, and so the moon will be in Gemini on Thursday, Friday, and most of Saturday. And so a Gemini moon is really good for communicating, or if you have writing projects or any kind of projects that involve communicating with others, if you need to have any kind of meetings, just avoid the void moons. It's all good for that. And then also on Thursday, the sun will sextile Jupiter, which is just a really lovely transit. It helps us feel expansive. It helps us kind of feel optimistic, and it can help with maybe if you want to learn something new or kind of bring something new into your life, that can be very helpful. On Friday, things start to get a little tense with the sun squaring Pluto on Friday. And so this is a really intense transit. You know, the sun is our ego. It's kind of the core of who we are. And then Pluto is the planet of change and transformation and rebirth. And so when the sun is squaring Pluto, when it's kind of butting heads, we can have this conflict, and it can manifest more internally or externally, where we can find ourselves caught externally in a power struggle or this power dynamic where forces, maybe we are involved or we're watching this with other people, are kind of trying to wrestle or wrangle power from each other. Or this can be more internal, where we are finding there's a power struggle within ourselves, where we want to be in control of something, but it's very much in our face that we cannot be in control of it, and we are not in control of it. And if we, again, I'm going to use the same kind of, the imagery that's coming to my head is the same that kind of came to my head when I was thinking of Venus moving to Taurus, with kind of letting go of the reins a little bit. If we can let go a little bit and let go of that need to control, and a lot of times, if you look at your need or any kind of desire, you have to control the situation. It's not always, but usually you might find that it's not necessarily coming from you actually wanting to control other people or control situations. It's you want to feel safe. If you really dig at that, what it's really about is you want to feel safe, you want to feel secure, and controlling everything around you might help you do that. But that's a false sense of control, right? And so if that's kind of what's coming up for you, and you're kind of letting yourself take a step back and look at, okay, I'm feeling the need to really assert some kind of control or power right now, and look at underneath that, what's kind of the undercurrent, what's the motivation, if you keep asking yourself, if you go, okay, I want to control the situation, why? And then let yourself answer, and then ask why, and let yourself answer and ask why, and keep asking why until there's nothing else under that. There's no more why. You've gotten to the core why. And that core why might be you want to feel safe. You want to feel secure. And so Sun square Pluto can bring this up to help illuminate what your why is of, your relationship with power and control. And it may be you want to feel safe and secure, or it may be something else, but whatever your very base why is, it's there for you to work with. It's there for you to understand a new layer and new depth of yourself, so you can kind of work with it. So let's say, for example, your base why was you want to feel safe and secure. what realistically can you do to help yourself feel safe and secure? Like, what does safety and security mean for you? Is it physical safety and security? Is it emotional safety and security? Like, that's kind of what the questions you want to ask yourself and really examine and look at. So you can see where Friday may be a little intense because those are kind of the themes that may be coming up for us. And then on Saturday, there are so many transits. I'm not even going to mention them all because there's just a lot. So there's a lot. So Mercury is going to be making a series of transits Saturday afternoon, where first Mercury will be sextiling Jupiter, which is actually really helpful in expanding our thinking. It can help us look to the future and think about what plans we want to make for the future. And a lot of Saturday is going to be around new ideas and communication. That's a lot of the energy. So there's a lot of Mercury activity, and Mercury is the planet that kind of governs our mind, our thinking, our voice, and the way we communicate. And so with Mercury being really active, you might find on Saturday you just have a lot of ideas. There's just a lot of brainstorming. You might want to make sure you keep a notebook handy or some way of recording the ideas you have so you can, not worry about keeping them all in your head. We also will have Mercury will sextile Mars on Saturday, which is really good if you have a lot of things you need to get done. Mercury sextile Mars can help you really focus in just terms of like tackling that to-do list and kind of nose to the grindstone, just getting a lot of work done where your mind is just on it. And then later in the day, Mercury will sextile Pluto. And again, just like we had, it'll square Pluto. And just like we had on Friday with the Sun squaring Pluto, and that was kind of an intense transit, on Saturday, Mercury square Pluto will also be a little bit of an intense transit where we might find our thoughts, because this is Mercury, this is our mind, we might find our thoughts becoming a little obsessive, or we're too focused in on something where we keep going over something again and again and again and again, and it's like a dog with a bone, and we really struggle with letting it go. And so if you find that comes up for you, especially if it's something you are obsessing about or kind of replaying over in your mind that's more on the negative side of things, maybe it's something someone said to you where it hurt you, or maybe someone actually did something to you and you're something from your past that you're just, for some reason, it's come up in your mind and you just can't seem to let it go. In my opinion, this is a good time where it is completely appropriate to distract yourself. However, you can distract yourself. Some people find getting outside and doing physical movement helps. Maybe you want to read a book or watch some TV or just listen to music. But sometimes when your brain is kind of getting stuck in a cycle of can't letting something go, it's best to just give your brain something else to focus on. And so you might find Saturday afternoon, you need to kind of veg out a little. And then on Sunday, the Sun will meet up or conjunct Mercury. And so that's just a really nice transit where communication flows, words flow. It's, an optimistic transit. It's also a transit that just means we are communicating a little bit more and kind of coming more from our mind or our head instead of our heart, where we're not necessarily going to be thinking through based on emotions. We're a little bit more able to compartmentalize and keep our emotions and kind of the logic, not that emotions aren't logical, but like our our brains trying to be very logical, we're kind of keep them compartmentalized and separate a little bit more, which isn't necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It just is what it is. And so that is the week ahead. Like I said, it's a little bit quieter on the front half of the week, where the energy is really supportive of getting things done, of just kind of feeling really optimistic. And then the latter half of the week, Friday through Sunday, it's not like things aren't optimistic anymore because there's still some supportive transits, but it's definitely a little bit more challenging and a little bit more intense with the squares to Pluto. So hopefully that helps you kind of plan out your week ahead. And I will be back on, hopefully, as long as my son's nap schedule works out, on Wednesday to chat all about Venus moving into Taurus. All right. I hope you all have a lovely day.